shot that Kenny got through the smoke was on Golden, I think, trying to put the bomb, so...
Well, speaking of Golden as well, since you just mentioned it, he's played a phenomenal series so far. He's been by far and away Fnatic's best players in these first two maps. They need more from the other casts. I don't think you can ask Golden to carry you all the way through a series. This is where you really need Crims, JW, Flusha, those guys with experience, Brolin, the young guy, to step up and be the force to be reckoned with here on Train, at least to start things out.
I agree. Get it back to that core and let Golden do the calling. Kind of a nice pick off early on from Brolin here, but he got double grenaded right away, so they just weren't expecting the Creek to stick around. A pretty beat up Fnatic team that's left here with, 32 health on Flusha and Brolin both. That will be an issue.
Unfortunately, I think they just have to attack this bomb site before that smoke clears. Deagle's shots and footsteps give away the game. A second player has rotated in, that's Hunter. Jax can have a fast flank up the ladder, and with only 3 players, there's not enough manpower to defend the flank, so Fnatic at a huge, huge disadvantage.
Yeah, they really do. I don't know if that smoke was meant to just sort of edge its way over. Maybe it is.
I think it landed on a Molotov.
It did, but I mean, it sort of fell over the edge, which looked really funny. Brolin has got a... That could be a very cool smoke. If that's designed that way, I want to see that more. Hunter and Nexa. And Nexa just staying hidden back there. They have a grenade to
look
try and
look at Brolin. Brolin's going to wrap around. Brolin might be able to do this if they could slow it down long enough for him to get into the action, but he wanted both. He wanted both kills.
Can't blame him.
Yeah, no, that was the only way they were going to win that, if he was able to find both defenders of that bomb site. That's a really cool round, a really cool attempt from Fnatic to get Brolin to sneak out that way. It's just a long time for those Deagles to have to keep the attention on them. Yeah,
and he had to try and double that up for it to even be halfway realistic. So, G2 will hold on to it. This Molotov here is... I actually thought that was going to be way scarier, but...
Flusha didn't have the HP for that kind of an engagement. Good read from Hunter. Some kind of internal alarm rings out. So 2-0 for G2. And Fnatic is back, sitting right around 2,000 on most players, and just some pistols, some upgraded, some P250, some Deagles, but not a whole lot to be happy about. And Kenny S, he's got the AWP on the board already. That's one of those fights between him and JW we wanted to see. The AWPs going head-to-head, maybe not against each other, but just in general trying to defend for their teams.
I mean, if we can get that fight on the third map, it's going to be entertaining. They actually do pick up the Krieg.
That sucks.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, I got the Krieg. Aww.
But there are so many ways that this can, this can play out. Absolutely could be AWP versus AWP. We've already seen on all the maps. When Kenny's feeling really good about it, and he starts to become super mobile, he's running from site to site, sniping people.
Look at how much they're protecting the AWP as well.
Yeah.
They've given it to Jax on low HP, and he's just playing as far back as humanly possible, while Kenny remains aggressive with the M4. Remember, it's not just such an important weapon for the defense of this map, but it's expensive. And especially in these first 3 rounds, investing in it is a bit of a risk. So no matter what happens, they want to keep that alive. And Jax, at this point, he's actually so far away from his teammates. If Crims somehow finds him, that would be a disaster.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, he's got back.
Get back to where someone can at least pick it up. What a shot. Crims taking out Amanek, but, Crims alone, and they pretty much know where he is, so should be able to find a way to kill him in. 10 seconds left, and Amanek actually just assisting on that one. Jax ultimately the one to get the kill. So 3-0 in favor of G2. But now let's see. I think Fnatic, it might seem a bit strange that they're playing that round so slowly when they were quite obviously not going to win it.
Yeah.
But every kill matters. They just want to take as much away as they can, whatever round it is. That's a pretty good mentality to have. Make it expensive, even if you're probably going to lose that round. Extra kill on Amanek means he's at $100 here, for instance.
Well, into ladder room we go. Jax was there pretty quick. No one committed. Good shot from JW. Not a tough one. Kenny S walks right into it, but the ladder room presence is going to allow the rotation to get here in time. They hear the footsteps. Golden is already trying to cheat his way down. He's very low. That actually might force Fnatic back.
Yeah, they did some team damage before they even got on the ramp, so I'm really confused about that. Similar smokers to the last round. Nexa, he's immediately traded. That is a good push. Upper and lower at the same time. And Amanek might want to think about running over this AWP. Jax is weirdly flanking, but again, it doesn't matter when there's only one player on the other
The
side.
bomb is down, though, so that's why he's flanking. He might have a chance at least to slow things down, get them into the action, but the bomb is picked up now. The question is, how long does Jax want to risk this weapon for this kind of a play? And, well...
He had no choice.
Yeah, yeah, that was taken out of his hands, wasn't it?
He made that call for him. That's an interesting round for a bunch of different reasons. It's obviously, it's great to get that kill on Kenny right away, but I'm still confused by the fact that, you know, there wasn't more of a defense setup in there for G2. They actually knew a little bit beforehand, and they still kind of got caught by that upper part of the push. And left Nexer, I think, alone. I don't know. Didn't look like there was quite enough to stop that.
Was that the smoke that we saw in the previous round that they threw that left the gap towards that lower ramp?
It looked like that to me. So,
okay.
Maybe
we'll keep our eye on that one.
Keep seeing that.
3-1 for G2. All the weapons have been taken away. All the money has been taken away. 2 Deagles, 2 nades. Ooh, Hunter's got a Zeus. We enjoy that. Probably for ladder room. Brolin's gonna get out. He takes a little bit of nade damage. And he's dead. This could be big. If Hunter's able to grab one with the Zeus coming down the ladder, all of a sudden you've thinned out the herd very easily, very efficiently. Jax is down to 1 HP, and they've salvaged the Krieg on Amanek.
He is so ready if anyone was going to drop in his face. And it doesn't seem like anyone will at the moment. Yeah, Molotov on Jax. Just something to work with. There's the Krieg coming into play. Instant headshot on JW. A 3 versus 4. Still, Fnatic can swing their way back in. Golden is starting to creep out long here, and or at least up at the long side of the yard. That could be very interesting.
I think that's the only saving grace that Fnatic have is this position from Golden. I actually think the setup overall with G2 is much, much stronger. Golden needs his kill, and he's given away the element of surprise. Amanek playing with E-Box as cover with this Krieg is massive. Good shot from Crims.
Yeah, that's a very important kill. Molotov in behind, Hunter forcing him away. And now the bomb is going to make its way out. Nexa right there to get taken out, and Jax is so low on health. So they managed to find a way through here. Fnatic, you can hear them shouting. They're happy about this one. And they should be. If they'd lost that round, that would have really been a disaster. 3-2. So 2 in a row for Fnatic, although they really had to put in some effort on that one.
Starting to get some money building up, though, this Fnatic offense. And remember, much like what we saw with Fnatic and G2 on Inferno, that kind of economic back and forth at the start of the T side for Fnatic that gave them their lifeline kind of in that map. It's going to be a similar story here on Train. The longer they can keep G2 from gaining a strong economy, the better it is going to be for them.
Boost. Oh, that lamp looked like it was obscuring at least one player. I don't know if he would have seen that. That's a bit scary.
Ooh, the flick down doesn't connect, but JW knew exactly where he was, and Brolin again comes right through that smoke.
Wow.
That's the op down.
Yeah, and that was just range. Crims able to take it with the Krieg. Hunter up on top with the FAMAS. He's actually not going to get that kill away. Amanek instead, but he will finish off Golden right afterwards. Hasn't reloaded yet, and has enough bullets for the kill. He gets Lake and finally take it out, but that's pretty good just with the FAMAS. It's a 2-on-2, and a lot riding on this one early on. Still over a minute.
How did he have so much time to get all those kills? Not a single person from Fnatic was able to find his position. They must have just been fighting other players at the time, and it was just perfect peeking over and over for Hunter.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Nexer and Amanek grouping up, which I kind of like that. It's a risk because obviously if they end up in B, then both players are going to be miles away, but...
I like the group up. I think this is an ill-advised play with 38 seconds left on the clock is to push... I mean, that's one player out of the action for so long. Now, Amanek can at least have this long-range glimpse, and this might be a kill. They might peek right into him. Oh, no. They set up for it. The jump across and the peek from JW with the op. They now have the information, and this can turn into a flank.
Wait, Amanek also goes this way. I mean, I don't know. If Nexa gets a kill, I'm guessing no one will ever imagine that the second player is also coming in from main like this. Seeing it, kind of long range with the FAMAS. It doesn't matter. That's great accuracy out of Nexa. Not the best weapon for that range. Now JW, yeah, he's so worried about it and trying to fall back. Can he actually stop this? The bomb is on the other side. You can shoot under the train, but I don't think he wants to rely on that. They're going to get very close. They line up in front of him, and that's scary. Instant kill, and back around the corner. Amanek, he's just going to sit. Hold it in. JW.
He's got it.
Yep, he's got it. Trying once, but not going to get it. And that's a big win for G2. 4 rounds.
JW must have thought that he was going to chase him. He really bailed away from that bomb so quickly. So good recovery, good retake from G2 in the 2-on-2. And obviously Flusha, I said I kind of doubted the decision to push towards Ivy. This round it works. Flusha didn't expect that flank to be that early. Way overexposed out in the open. Oh, that's a bit silly. He's just peeking in, taking some pre-fire shots. This was, I mean, Hunter does great work. Aggressive towards the choke point, not making them comfortable, not allowing them to get out with any kind of confidence. Brolin.
Looks like it's going to be speed again, especially if Brolin can get this pick off. If he finds someone right here, they're ready, I think, to try and execute behind it. Out behind E-Box now is Jax. And he's going to win the fight, actually, with the FAMAS. That's, again, not easy. With the Molotov on top, we could tell.
Well, Brolin never saw him get to E-Box. I don't even think he thought that peek was going to come in whatsoever. Kenny S now a chance for a pick-off. Either way, one shot and fall back if you can get away. JW knows this angle like the back of his hand. There's the peek. There's the shot through the edge of the wall. And Fnatic, I think they have to pick up the pace. They have to go through this.
I agree. I think they should have gone through that. You're down a man. You've lost pretty much the entire rest of the map. For all you know, they could be pushing up Ivy right now, so you don't have the time to go back and check it. Now, they are boosting back here, and yeah, even if they had stuck around next, they're not going to peek that. Smoke fades, and what a snipe from JW. A fight that he should not have been winning, but he did, and that brings it back into 4-on-4. They might still be successful here. The Swedish team looking for a little bit of luck early on here in the half. Nexa, though, will take a double kill at the FAMAS, turns it into a triple. That is outrageous. Thanks, Golden and Nexa. What a champion-level play coming through here on the B-bomb side. That is so unlikely.
Yeah, especially with the FAMAS. That's a weapon that you don't expect to see delivering a sequence like that. Fnatic struggling individually in some of these fights at the moment. Nexa must deathmatch with that FAMAS. That must be a practiced weapon.
I don't even know. You'd think he'd run out of bullets even. Just doesn't.
That's unbelievable. What a job on defense. And again, he was the player that when Fnatic doesn't press the issue of that smoke, he's the one that's able to rotate over and into position. A lot of time for him.
Here's something worth maybe discussing, especially in a round like this where Fnatic have the pistols. There really aren't that many maps left in the map pool at all that are very CT-sided. Train can be one of them. If you get the economy, you get, you know, 1 or 2 orbs up and running, you have all of the grenades to stop any aggressive plays early on. Yeah, it can be very tough on that T side. Fnatic, obviously, that's what they need to try and avoid here. They need to get into a position where they at least can keep the G2 economy somewhat low, and those kind of shots help out.
Yeah, and then reset it. So all's not lost, but they certainly need to add more rounds onto the board. Last time these two teams met on Train was DreamHack Masters Malmo. It was a 16-5 victory for Fnatic. They've already matched 5 G2. Jax playing far back. Patiently waiting. You can understand why they're being passive, wanting to buy time for their teammates to get over into position. Jax is investigating. Almanek throws a smoke towards ladder room, and I think Fnatic are going to be fine with that. That gives him a little bit of extra cover to be able to get out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever done it, but you can actually boost inside of that smoke to look over the boxes, and it's an incredible one-way smoke. So no one's ever really tried to do it. It could be interesting. Nice sniper away. That's some amazing accuracy. That's wonderful. Look at the master at work here. M4 tapping away. Quick quad kill. I'm going to say he would have had the last one, too, if he got the opportunity.
I don't even think some of those Deagles shot a bullet. I don't even think they had a chance to respond. Jax has been playing a great series for G2. He's up at 12 kills, 3 deaths. And it's important to note, he's been the most active player in their entry attempts on the T sides as well. So if you have your entry player with a hot hand, that immediately makes things so much easier.
One of those players, I'll be honest, I'd never heard about until he was picked up.
Yeah.
I remember Amanek from other lineups, but Jax, I just popped in and was good. Pushing in front of the smoke is Kenny S. And he's got Hunter and Jax behind him. So you see all of the smokes are down from Fnatic. There's a whole wall of them right behind G2. So this aggressive defense is actually so good for this.
Yeah, they have all the information. They know nobody's out, and also they can take over that T mid. Exactly what Jax is doing. He's clearing it out. He's going to stay there. So that takes a lot of their minds, a lot of their worry away.
And if you hold T mid and they try and crunch from Ivy and Pop Dog, if you're coming up from that pop dog position, it is so hard to turn and look essentially behind you to check if anyone is there.
Same issue you have coming out of T mid, and ladder room's not in your control as a T on the T side.
Yeah.
We'll see how they handle it. 3 players going to be coming from Ivy, at least for the moment. JW now falling back with his AWP. No smokes left. Excuse me, 1 smoke left for the Fnatic offense. 4 Molotovs. Plenty of flashbangs.
They got the bomb back here. They got Crims over at T main for the minute. Amanek about to have a fight. That flashbang does nothing at all to him, but he can't land the headshot just yet. We see the coach there on the G2 side, very tense at the moment, and for good reason. 35 seconds left. It's Flusher and Amanek traded. Broland, that's a nice pickoff, finding Kenny, and now suddenly that defense is gone. Nexa trying to push through, and that was being controlled well. What an amazing hit here out of Fnatic. I did not think that was going to work out anywhere near this well.
No, that defense needed a little bit more success on that initial battle over towards Ivy. Once they can start swinging out wide and you're forced away from that fight, all of your teammates are exposed. Kenny S between the trains. He's out in the open, and it's so hard to contain them from there. So Hunter desperately going to try and hang on to this gun. I think he should be fine. No one from Fnatic is going to chase too far across the map. So a 3rd round for Fnatic, and this is one of those situations where they've accomplished enough with the economy to make this next round buy from G2 a little bit tough. Kenny will still have an AWP more than likely. Jax and Amanek are going to be able to have a solid buy. Nexa might be hurting a bit, but one more round, Fnatic. If they combine these 2 rounds in a row,
yeah,
the economy's gone, and all of a sudden you're looking at a very nice T-half.
I actually think if they manage to do that, then
they're set for the half.
Yeah, they've at least reached the basic level of being competitive, and that would feel great. They weren't that far away from running into Jesus.
I mean, that's just, look how hard it is when they can start swinging like that. Remember, the player on top of that train was forced all the way back into jumping off. I think that was actually Amanek.
Yeah, it was. Golden definitely feeling the pressure and the stress of the moment. 10th round coming up. Double AWP in their hands, lacking a couple of grenades, lacking armor entirely on Amanek. Could be an issue. JW, immediate jump down. That's pretty aggressive.
He's fine with it. Was hoping to beat a CT to the punch. Jax holding this with an M4. No one willing to be the aggressor. JW just hoping someone pushes towards E-Box. Now going to get smoked off. That'll change his plans. There's 2 kits on the G2 side. They've invested everything into this round. Double up setup, which you can't even argue with considering they're going to run out of utility pretty quick. 3 smokes and a Molotov and an HE left. They have no flashbang, so you want those ops to be able to just hold angles like that.
Yeah, that is exactly it. If you're lacking in the utility, nice to get that kind of a pick-off. Golden goes down. Smoke, I think maybe Amanek would have been dead if not for that. So good timing. 50 seconds, and JW, that needed to be a kill. Now they know you're coming under a bomb site once again. A smoke to buy even more time. The Molotov just to try and make sure no reinforcements. Oh, but it's a 2-for-1. I don't even know how. Amanek dropping JW and Flusher. We're going to need to see a replay of that. Crims in a 1 versus 4. And there is nothing that he could do at the moment. Trying to get back behind cover, but Nexa will find him. 7-3. What just happened?
Surely that was through a smoke or something. Amanek was all the way back by Ivy. He had no pressure on him the whole time. Let's see. Yeah, oh, he just spots the leg.
Wow.
That is ridiculous. Flusha is going to be frustrated with that one. Here we go. Full investment for Fnatic. So, listen, G2 defense, that's a great hold. They dodged the economic issues. They dodged the money problems, at least for the moment. It's still not great, but they still have the double up setup, and this time Jax beats him to the punch. Takes some damage from the Molotovs, but he at least forces them back.
I don't know if we'll see it in this half, but this game can change so much if G2 run out of money, because it opens the playbook for Fnatic to do so many more things. They can be way more aggressive. They can beat a bunch of timings and try and see if they could go for this B-bomb side. Once again, it looks like Hunter and Nexa are inside of it, and Nexa especially, he's been so hard to take down on this bomb side. They don't have a lot of grenades or anything else, and they're just waiting for it right now. Smoke to block them off, and they're going to try and see if they can come through. That's very ambitious. Molotov goes up, and helping him out is Hunter. They didn't check the corner, and a big double spray coming through on the Krieg. He turns 180 to take down Flusher, and I think they wanted to flank and run through C connector on half of that. didn't work out.
Well, they also tried to beat a timing to have a second player at that inner bomb site. They wanted to get in there before that second one came back, but that's a perfect bait and switch for G2. That player, whoever backed up along that bomb train through the Molotov, that is a brilliant sequence of decision-making for him.
Yeah, Nexa just...
Pulls him right into his teammates' waiting arms. Kenny S and Amanek still with the AWP, and now with that big of a shutdown, G2, they grow the bank. They have a 5-round lead, and Fnatic have nothing. They have to call a timeout and discuss this. Yeah, Nexa and Hunter just do an incredible job at this inner bomb site.
Yeah, that's a team that's apparently very hard to take down. Kenny is loving his life right now, and I can't blame him for it. Up 8-3. That score is, I mean, the lead is good. It's a 5-round lead, but that's not the big deal. It's the fact that they keep the economy. They keep the Krieg there on Hunter. Sawn off shotgun on JW. All right.
Brolin's bought down to 500. It might have been him accidentally buying a shotgun.
Well, yes.
Otherwise, why
lemonade?
would... Yeah. I was going to say, JW uses the Kraken.
Yeah.
That's the only skin I know of players. Amanek just waiting. Timing shot isn't going to connect. Blood, but no damage.
Strange how that works.
Yeah, it's a unique feature.
So, I mean, there is no reason for G2 to be aggressive or experimental in this round. They can probably guess the economy of Fnatic. So wait it out. Just let them show up, or let the time run out if they are willing to do it. Some damage being dished out. The Deagles are a threat. JW proving why. Obviously, the Sawn-off really not going to do anything in this range, so...
Nexus still holding on to the inner bomb site. His teammate just rotated back. That was Kenny S to throw his smoke, and ooh, Nexus is going to be tested from above. You could see him backing up to isolate himself from anyone coming down lower ramp. There's the first kill. Now he can transfer down, but his teammates are here. Actually, 2 AWPs are here. So JW, there's no access this way.
No, he's not welcome at all. Smoke is going to be fading, but yeah, long range with that Deagle. Not really a fair fight. 9-3 in favor of G2. Again, this is why Train is a little bit of a different map than many of the others in the pool right now. Used to be that we could sort of class nuke in there to some extent, but not so much anymore. Very different experience. Is Train the last map that has this feature? It's not that it always is like this. That's not what I'm trying to claim, but you can get the spiral going.
Yeah, this can slip away from you very quickly. Well, I mean, here's why. If you start looking at the money of guys like Jax, Kenny S, and Amanek, once you start building up money, it's hard enough to get one round on the CT side, but if they could just constantly rebuy and refresh every single nade, then that second round is just really hard to get. And the way Fnatic's been playing, I said they, on Dust 2, they weren't playing their best game. I still think that's the case. And I think it's going to be extra tough for them on the T side here on Train to find something. If their individuals aren't on point, like, Fnatic has to have that kind of individual intuition. It's like the hallmark of Swedish Counter-Strike, and if they're not creating enough, then no opportunities open for their teammates either.
Yeah, opportunities is really, I think that's the key word. They just haven't had enough of them right now.
Entries are hard to come by when there's Molotovs and smokes in every choke point. Here's a chance against Jax.
Are they going to go for a double drop? They could be setting up for it. He doesn't have a lot of health, and oh, he turns around. I'm shocked he got the kill anyway. Brolin will take down Hunter. Amanek and Kenny now out in the yard, and Nexa on the flank, 40 seconds. This defense is going to be real close, and now that Kenny's gone down, it might not even be possible. Nexa, the flank is only good if there's any kind of a distraction, and he will get absolutely shut down. Flush up, instantly seen it. And now Amanek, I mean, they have enough money to buy in the next round, but again, saving the AWP would still be nice for them. 4th round Fnatic, and I guarantee you this is an important round here.
He could go for a Ninja Anders. He's got a smoke, he's got a kit, and they have no idea he's here. He's been here this whole time, not... Ooh, that's a great flick up. And now he has to back away.
I was gonna say, if that was how they lost the round, that would have been too heartbreaking.
That would have been funny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A cruel man, Jason.
Yeah.
They win the round.
9-4.
9-4. That might not seem like a lot, but again, it really all matters right now. And there is a big chance for the Swedes once again here. The money, if you look at it on the G2 side, they're going to be buying a lot in here. If they could get to 5 or 6, I actually think Fnatic are just going to be celebrating going into the second half.
Yeah, 5 would be massive. It's a lot of cash that everyone's eating into. That's a pretty good flick from Almanac, all things considered. And Almanac still has some money to buy in the next round, a final round if needed. Those ops have not left their hands too frequently throughout this half, Kenny S and Almanac. Once they got the double op setup rolling, it's been pretty efficient. A lot of utility. 2 Molotovs towards T mid.
They're out pretty quick in Pop Dog. Crims has been snuck in there. They are setting up for another A-yard crunch at the moment. They could come in at every angle. There's 4 people defending right now. 2 of them at T main. They're going to be pushing aggressively once again. So, I don't know. Hard to break right now if you're Fnatic when you've lost control of main. At least they're going to have to go back and take a look at it. Jax back here at Pop Dog, so...
He was the one that went into main and then backed out. They threw a deep smoke to act like they still have control of it, and that actually might funnel Fnatic into a stack elsewhere.
Well, last time they did this push is when they had the fight with Amanek, who was up on top of the train.
Yes.
This time he's down low with the AWP instead. Let's see if they can land a flashbang or anything to get rid of him here. 50 seconds, that's the bomb down at Ivy. Smoke, it actually does work out right in front of him, and he can just guess, and he's got it right. Taking down Golden. 40 seconds, they need to move. This has sort of already been found out. Jax is gonna go down, not even checking behind him. A gap in the defense, 35 seconds. Kenny being brought in now from CT spawn as Hunter gets a kill on Crimson. Hunter's alone. He's got no backup out here. Brolin and Flusher are looking for him. Amanek trying to cover it, but Hunter got no chance. Amanek, can he do a bit more? The first shot was through the smoke, but now he needs to get that flick, and it's not going to happen. JW sneaking close. No scope. Of course he tries that, but the bomb goes down, and it's a 3-on-3. JW covering 2 people in this lineup. Good kill on 1. He escapes death. Tries to get it through the wall, and now Nexa inside of the smoke and C connector in a 1 versus 3. I can't believe that Fnatic managed to force their way into this A-yard. They had to fight every step of the way, and they're going to finish the round right there. Brolin with a nice triple. That's really impressive.
They've only been punished by it twice, but it actually might turn out giving Fnatic 3 rounds. This is looking like G2. These setups that don't have a player dedicated towards Ivy, they need to fix that. When there's a 3-player down Ivy from Fnatic, they've won every time, and it's just because there's no way for anyone from G2 to cover the teammates aggressive towards mid. You have to have someone actually pushed up in mid, pushed up in ladder room, but when they're all out in the open, as soon as that part of the map is compromised, the defense just starts to crumble. It starts to snowball away from you. And listen, this is going to be a bit of conjecture, but we know in this team, obviously multilingual. Jax has been the player that they talk about, has had to adjust to that kind of a situation, and he's also the one who wasn't able to kind of contain that defense later on. Almanac able to get the 1 kill, but nothing that Jax can do to turn around for the communication.
Yeah, that's a big deal. He just got shot in the back of the head for, without any chance to reply.
Especially when it's hectic, especially when there's smokes, especially in a semifinal.
9-5. The money not good on G2 here for the 15th round. They've bought whatever they can. Early attempt there for JW. Sticking around to eat that HE grenade and getting the kill on Jax. And it's all worth it. Again, 5 rounds means Fnatic are competitive. Suddenly the map is back in contention. Looked like G2 could have closed them out.
Here we go, almost. I think actually, was he tagged? No, that's Almanac up on top. It was Hunter who lost a little bit of HP. Kenny S holding on to Epox desperately, and Almanac slides into position. He's got another, holding on to this first train, swapping out for the Krieg as well. And it's hectic outside in the yard, but Fnatic coming out on top. The 3 final kills get them up to 6. And it was desperate. It was a battle to get that many rounds on the T side.
Really, really well done. They've done it. Now it's a completely open map. Anyone can win. We'll see what happens when we come back for the second half after the break.
skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby.